Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Women Who Rock with Success, which is an award-winning show for professional women. We profile a collective of amazing women who are thriving to build their brand. Women are handpicked in various fields who can provide credible information to build your business and lifestyle. We are live each Thursday at 9 a.m. Central Time, followed by our latest brand, Women Who Rock Investigates. To learn more about us, go to our website at www.womenwhorockwithsuccess.com. Now, let's join our podcast host in the studio, Mrs. Diane Winbush.
Women Who Rock with Success complies with the rules and terms according to the Federal Communications Commission podcast guidelines. The views and opinions expressed by our guests are their own, and their appearance on our digital media platforms does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. All guests who embrace our media stations are experts who are licensed in their fields of occupation. All rights reserved.
And good morning and welcome to Women Who Rock with Success. This is your host, Ms. Diane Winbush, and so thank you so much for tuning in with us on today. This is our second episode for today, and we have a unique topic. Usually we talk about health after the first of the year, after we have after we have eaten up everything for the holidays, for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And of course, our January month we spend trying to help our viewers and listeners in regards to a better health. But we're going to jumpstart it 2022 to be able to help you get an advanced head start. So to be able to help us a little bit more in this area of health and wellness, we welcome to the studio today Cindy Williams. So good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Wonderful. So tell us a little bit about you, Cindy, and tell us a little bit about what you do to be able to impact women, or I guess men and women, in their health and wellness.
Sure. And I go by Cynthia versus Cindy. A lot of people default to Cindy when they see Cynthia, but I am a Cynthia, yeah. I am a integrative nutrition practitioner. I specialize working with women on hormone and gut health while they're trying to achieve weight loss. So whether that be reviewing blood work and figuring out what's going on, changing up protocols, it's basically a deep dive for women when they're to a point with all the things that they used to do to try and get in a healthier spot and feel better aren't working. So we dig deep, figure out what's going on, and then help them make progress.
Okay, great. So what kind of, I guess, compelled you to be able to get into health and wellness? I know everyone has their own different take on it as to what caused them to be able to be a health coach, a holistic wellness coach. So what was your take as to what got you jump-started into health and wellness?
I just love it, honestly. I have been, since I was in college, I was a trainer in the gym. I would do that after I would go to school, or once I graduated college. I'm actually an occupational therapist by trade with my education. And in the evenings after I would do my therapy with clients there, I would go and train in the gym. And it just over time it grew and grew. And then as I got deeper into it and started training more and more women, and then I had some personal things as well that went on when it came to hormones and stuff like that I just couldn't get the right answers in the doctors. And I was like, there has to be more to this. It can't just be take another medication and, things like that. And it just developed from there and just kept going, I guess, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, it does. So we know that this month is, of course, Diabetes Awareness Month, Cynthia, and so kind of talk to us a little bit about that. And I know not on the topic of diabetes, but how we can be able to help ourselves a little bit more in that area in regards to wellness and healthy living.
Sure. Insulin sensitivity and resistance is something I work a lot with a lot of the women that I come across. It's probably one of the bigger, more common areas that I see issues with clients. I will say when you go to your doctor, they will typically only check your fasted glucose. and they need to start checking insulin because it's a big myth. Because your insulin is what regulates your glucose level. And so you can show normal reads of glucose on a blood panel, but you can have incredibly high insulin levels. So your pancreas are working overtime to secrete insulin to hold those normal glucose levels. So I always check with my clients that have blood glucose done and insulin done for markers. So that's first and foremost for all the women out there listening, to make your doctor check your insulin as well, because you can have this stuff going on behind the doors that you're not sure of, and you think everything's good and well, and then all of a sudden you start having these symptoms of, fatigue and unwanted weight gain, and you can start to have thyroid issues from the chronic insulin levels being high. So I always tackle that first and foremost. But addressing that through insulin is one of the best things that you can do to regulate your insulin and glucose levels is walk. Get your steps in. The numbers I saw the other week were if you can get between 7,500 steps and 10,000 steps a day, you can reduce your chances of mortality by 60 to 70%. So walking is one of the most underrated types of exercise out there, but can provide massive health benefits, especially, again, when we're talking about blood glucose and insulin levels that regards to, diabetes. Walk after your meals, or just move after you eat. 5 to 10 minutes of movement, do the dishes, sweep the floor, play with the kids for a minute. All of that can help blunt the insulin response to the food that you've just eating to keep those levels more balanced throughout the day, which is what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to prevent those high spikes, which over time, if it's chronically elevated like that, is what leads to type 2 diabetes.
Absolutely. So, Cynthia, at this time of the year, we have some people that are in very high expectations. They're in high expectations of travel. They're in high expectations of sharing Christmas with their families, and they're in high expectation of sharing holidays such as Thanksgiving with their friends, colleagues, and family members as well. But then you have some that perhaps maybe have lost individuals, and this sometimes may cause individuals to fall into an area of depression. And so kind of talk to us a little bit about that as to how we can, or not how we can, you're the expert, tell us how would you, impact or empower women in that area to ensure that they continue health and wellness, because a lot of times individuals can be on a good path, January, February, March, and then when it comes around to holidays, they don't have their loved ones there or what have you. And plus, we've just come out of this big, huge, massive flip over with the COVID for the last couple of years. So talk to us a little bit about that as well, because we want the audience to be able to learn the both sides of it, being healthy and being wellness, and how to also overcome, still be able to be healthy and well, even while we perhaps maybe go through a season of depression around holidays. Some people may take it different ways. Some people may, I'm thinking, let's pack up the kids, we're going out for the holidays. Some individuals, for that little 2 months, they perhaps maybe fall into a different pattern of what other Americans may fall into. So how would you be able to drive that through with those that perhaps, are still trying to stay on the pattern? We're not talking about Jimmy Craig. We're talking about what you would use as a strategy for those to keep them maintained with their health and wellness around those types of season, the holidays, even if they're going through depression.
Sure. I actually say, I talk about this a lot on my social media and things like that. I actually prefer to work with clients in high-stress times, holidays being one of those. And it's not about perfection. It's about learning consistency. And it's about changing thought patterns, mindset, and behaviors during those times. And it's just doing small changes to elicit just a little bit better response from yourself that will help to continue to drive the motivation. I'm always asking clients to self-reflect. Like, look at the triggers in your life that you have, and then, step back and look at your response to those triggers. And is your response when you are saddened, over the holidays, maybe you have a family, this is your first year celebrating the holidays without a family member. I have been there at the loss of my grandparents, and it's incredibly sad, So are you turning to binging, or are we turning to some kind of self-destructive behavior instead of, addressing and acknowledging those feelings? And that's one thing, I guess, that I work on with clients is finding what those triggers are, acknowledging them, and then just trying to redirect our thoughts around them. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to, do things just absolutely wonderful. Just do a little bit better than what you probably would have done 6 months ago. And just keep working at it like that. Just, identify the triggers, change your reaction to those triggers, and give yourself grace. That's the biggest thing. So many women are hard on themselves if they're not perfect, if they don't nail it like they're supposed to. And so they have this black and white mentality of they're either all in or they're all out, instead of working on it and thinking of it as a lifestyle. And this is just the new way that we're going to do things. And some days may go absolutely great, and then some days are not going to. But that's life. And if you're constantly waiting for the right time to work on your health goals, or, a lot of people wait till the first of the year. They're like, okay, it's the holidays. I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm just going to go crazy and, do whatever. And I'll start on January 1st. And that's just, and that's the wrong mentality, because you're creating self-sabotaging behaviors during that time, and then you put on a couple extra pounds that you got to work even harder in January to get off. So you don't need to be perfect during the holidays. You just need to be better. Just, think twice before you eat that, packaged up brownie. And that's the one other little point on that. That's what I always tell my clients is, if you're going to eat something that's off plan or whatever it may be, eat something good. Don't go to McDonald's and buy a crappy hamburger. Go to a good restaurant, sit down, get you an Angus hamburger with cheese on it, fill that void that you're trying to do with something of quality, just treat yourself with a little bit more respect, expect more of yourself, and, go for quality over that instant gratification fix that you're trying to achieve.
Absolutely. So do you feel that wellness plays a major factor? We don't have Cynthia, we don't have a origin, I guess, as to how breast cancer come in, with a lot of women and perhaps a small percentage of men and what have you. And so even, we just lost one of our guests that just appeared on the show on the 25th of October. Sometimes women do not know how to overcome those barriers, especially after, individuals experience, and we're going to get into that a little bit, with the hormone factor and what have you. But, so how does wellness play a part in that? So should women continue to, even like, with breast cancer, and I know we talked about diabetes and what have you, but we're just trying to give the audience, the women, a little bit more information in regards as to what they should be doing, keeping up the good work. We talked about the holidays and what have you. So breast cancer does not have an origin to it. Not to my knowledge, it doesn't. As to, women have to be of this certain bracket to be able to get it. I think, different women of different cultures can be able to, being diagnosed with breast cancer, and sometimes people will give up in that aspect of even, thinking about their health. So I guess we want to talk about that, if that's comfortable for you, to be able to share with women of how to continue to maintain even after they have just gotten, some because with the diabetes, of course, that can be monitored, Cynthia, with good, herbs, foods, wellness, good sleep, healthiness, and what have you, and making sure that you're maintaining your insulin level and what have you. But when it comes to things like breast cancer and what have you, I think women sometimes, even if they have a good, plan, good strategy, have a good health coach such as yourself, wellness coach, and then when it gets this devastating news about breast cancer, something that they cannot, I guess, perhaps control, then they perhaps maybe lose the effect on that as well as to continue the maintaining of their health and wellness.
So that's a big question, yeah. When it comes to breast cancer or other estrogen-dominant type diseases or dysfunction, a lot of it does come down to lifestyle and things that you can do to prevent these types of things from occurring. We all do have genetic undertones, right? We do have the genetic precursor, but then lifestyle can actually turn those switches on. So one thing that for all my women that I work with and that I'm trying to vocalize and get out there is you need to go and have a comprehensive blood panel done every single year. This may be something that you have to pay out of pocket for and go and have done, but I encourage all of my women to be your own health advocate and get this done because you have to track your hormone levels every single year to see what's going on, because a lot of this stuff, your blood work is a telltale sign that something is off, right? And we can, if we catch it in the blood work, we can start to work and do the work to try and reverse some of what's going on. But big things that women can do as far as trying to limit their chances of getting breast cancer is be active, walk. I'm not saying that you need to be a CrossFitter. I'm not saying that you need to run marathons. I'm saying you need to be active. Shoot for that 7,500 steps a day. You want to try and strength train maybe twice a week. We want to have some kind of yoga or flexibility, mobility work in there once a week. You just need to move your body. Secondly is removing inflammatory markers as much as we can, okay? Limiting your alcohol intake. Limiting, we know that gluten is an inflammatory marker for some folks. We know that dairy is an inflammatory marker for some folks. So that's where it comes down to, because your hormones and your gut health are directly related. So your gut is giving you feedback that things are off way, way before that you ever get your diagnosis. So if you're eating certain foods and it's causing indigestion, it's causing constipation, it's causing diarrhea, you're bloated, you're gassy all the time, you're just not normal when it comes to digestive issues, you need to address that up front. Something is off, and if you let those things go, they start to turn to dysfunction, right? So doing that, eating whole foods as much as we can, lean proteins, lots of vegetables. You want as many colors on your plate as you can, because the number one way to remove excess estrogen out of our system is pooping it out. So if we're not going to the bathroom every day, that excess estrogen is getting recirculated into our blood, and it can start to cause disruption. So we want to eat lots of high fiber, vibrant foods, lots of greens, kales, Brussels sprouts, broccoli sprouts, bok choy, Napa cabbage, things like that, so that we can ramp up our detoxification, which is urine and going to the bathroom, ramp up those processes to help flush out excess hormones that can be recirculated and cause issue. That's a lot right there too, a lot of information.
Absolutely. So we want to talk about your LIFT program, and talk to us a little about that, Cynthia, as to what you offer for women in the LIFT program. You don't have to, I guess, reveal all of the meat and potatoes of it, but just, I guess, some of the components or the takeaways as to what you would want the audience to be able to grasp from your LIFT program that you offer for women.
Yes, I have actually a new program that will be launching in January. I no longer offer the LIFT program. We've stopped that for a little bit to the end of the year. So in January, I will be offering a 12-week Back to Basics Women's Health Reset program, and that's basically what it is 12 weeks of information teaching you how to become your own health advocate. I teach you how to read lab work. I teach you all about your thyroid. I teach you all about your gut. All of this so that you can, again, be your own health advocate. You can go to the doctor and talk to them and not be dismissed, not get just put on another medication. You know how to follow up and continue with your health when you know things aren't right. I'm also teaching you, as well as all of that good stuff, which is what's most important to me, it's weight loss as well. I'm teaching you how to figure your calories, how to figure your nutrients, what works for your body, what works for your energy levels, how to manage stress, how to improve sleep, how to increase libido. So it's a comprehensive program where I'm just basically teaching you about you.
Okay, great. So what are some of the takeaways that you would from your health and wellness that you would like to leave with the audience?
One, like I said at the beginning of the show, you make your doctor test your insulin, not just glucose. They need to be running a full panel of glucose and insulin every time you get your blood work done for your yearly. Absolutely. Go in there and be strong about it and don't back down. Secondly, your doctors, your women that are pre-menopause, perimenopause, you need to have a full sex hormone panel run from your doctor every single year. They need to test your estrogen, your estradiol, your LH, your FSH, your progesterone, your testosterone, your free testosterone. They need to check this every single year. We need to watch it. Again, that is a telltale sign if estrogen levels are up that we've got something going on, and you can catch things in advance. And then third, walk. It's free. Mm-hmm. It doesn't cost you anything. You can do it anywhere. And if you want to see improvements in your health, you want weight loss, you want your insulin numbers to be better, you want to sleep better, have better energy, digest your food better, walk.
Okay, great. So with the last question, you can be able to share with the audience as to how they can be able to get in contact with you, how they can be able to find any publications that you have published, how they can be able to follow you on social media. You can be able to do that at this time.
Sure. Everything is Cynthia Williams Wellness. I'm Cynthia Williams Wellness on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook. My website is Cynthia Williams Wellness. You can go there, and, yes, you can see articles that I've written. You can go to YouTube. I have a ton of videos where I review women's lab work and start to teach you how to understand what's going on when you do go to your doctor. Just tons of educational information. Again, my biggest mission is helping women to be an advocate for their health, because there isn't any preventative medicine out there right now in the typical medical field. It's all reactive. So you have to be your own health advocate. You have to take your health into your own hands.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. So, audience, you have the information that you need to be able to continue your health and wellness. If you have not started a plan, of course, Cynthia has shared with you in regards to the upcoming program that she will be releasing and offering in the month of January. You can connect with that, and you can also connect with her on her social media handles and her links. Cynthia, thank you so much for being our guest on today of Women Who Rock with Success Media. And of everyone, we hope you have a safe weekend, and we'll see you right next Thursday at 9 o'clock a.m. on Women Who Rock with Success Media. So thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.